What it do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
Sheryl Swoopes really missed the mark this time. With a bold stance and a voice full of certainty, she boldly claimed that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were doomed to fail in attracting top-tier free agents. But fast forward, and the Fever just pulled off one of the most impressive free agency hauls the league has ever seen. As for Sheryl, well, she's now the human equivalent of a malfunctioning Magic 8 ball, constantly wrong every step of the way.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Let's hit rewind for a second. Sheryl Swoopes, Hall of Famer, basketball icon, no doubt. But these days, she's clocking in full-time as a professional skeptic, putting in some serious overtime. With all her experience, she boldly declared that the Fever would never land elite players because of supposed locker room drama. And yet, here we are. Contracts signed, deals sealed, and Indiana just built a powerhouse. Meanwhile, Sheryl's left watching from the sidelines, looking a little foolish, probably brainstorming her next questionable hot take.
Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that. Sheryl's been nowhere to be found. Sheryl got a lot of crow to eat, folks. Sheryl could be choking on crow right now. She need that Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and talk and say, man, you was wrong. It's okay.
I can picture Sheryl scrolling through her phone like, no way these players picked Indiana. But surprise, Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and even Asia Wilson's best friend, Sydney Colson, are all in the Fever. They didn't just win free agency, they absolutely cooked it. And when Colson was asked why she signed with Indiana, let's roll the footage.
Yeah, I talked to Sydney Colson today about her signing with Indiana. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well, so that made the decision easy.
Exactly. She was drawn to playing alongside Kelsey Mitchell, a longtime friend, and the rising star, Caitlin Clark. These were the very two players Sheryl Swoopes wrote off just months ago. And here's the kicker. This is the same Sheryl who said Caitlin Clark would need years to get used to the WNBA. Years? Seriously? Clark's out here casually dropping 40 points like it's nothing, while Swoopes' predictions are aging about as well as spoiled milk.
3 WNBA MVPs in your career. Would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
At this point, it feels like hating on Caitlin Clark has become Sheryl Swoopes' personal Olympic event, and she's snagging gold. Actually, she's probably sweeping the entire podium, gold, silver, and bronze, looking all kinds of salty while the anthem plays. Oh, Caitlin won't make the leap to the WNBA. Well, someone should let Indiana know, because they're out here stacking elite talent like they're building an all-star team. Caitlin Clark isn't just finding her footing, she's dominating, and the Fever are right there with her. Maybe it's time for Sheryl Swoopes to take a back seat, because Indiana just gave her a reality check.
No, but players who will be free agents next year. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Let's not fool ourselves. The real reason some of these WNBA vets and self-proclaimed legends can't stand Caitlin Clark is because she didn't play by their rules. She didn't wait her turn or ask for permission to stand out. Nah, she waltzed in, shattered 62 records in her rookie season, embraced the fans, and took the sport to new global heights. And, oh, does that sting for them? You bet it does.
The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
Caitlin Clark didn't need anyone's approval to claim her spot as the face of women's basketball. She's got more global recognition than half the league combined, and that's not by accident. That's the power of being a generational talent. Sheryl Swoopes, Angel Reese, Aja Wilson, and the rest of the Caitlin haters are just going to have to live with it. While they're busy throwing shade, Caitlin is out here racking up accolades, selling out arenas, and making the Indiana Fever the hottest ticket in town. And let's take a moment to appreciate this. The Indiana Fever, the team once overlooked by everyone, are now the center of the basketball world. The former league underdog is now the squad every player wants to join. Now that's what you call shifting the entire landscape.
You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
So, Sheryl, what happened to that claim about players not wanting to go to Indiana? Who exactly were you talking to? The ghosts of teams long gone? Because real, relevant players are lining up to join the Fever like it's the VIP section of an exclusive club. Did she honestly think Caitlin Clark would have to beg anyone to team up with her? Let's be real here.
Went even further when a game that Sheryl Swoopes was calling for the Dallas Wings, where the commentator was talking about how great Caitlin Clark had been playing. Sheryl Swoopes, silent for 60 seconds, didn't even want to address it. And it got so bad that the game that Dallas then went to play against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark after the domination of the Chicago Sky, Sheryl Swoopes got pulled from the broadcast.
Someone better check on Sheryl because she's clearly stuck in 2002 when the Fever were stumbling through mediocrity like it was some kind of team-building drill. Sis, things have shifted. This isn't Tamika Catchings trying to lift a squad of part-time gym teachers. The Indiana Fever are stacked now. Natasha Howard, a champion, defensive powerhouse, and certified scorer. Here's what she had to say when she signed on with the team.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark Flash Show, So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court. Because that's like as soon as she get the ball in her hand, she's throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
DeWanna Bonner, standing tall at 6 feet 4 inches, a walking mismatch, an elite scorer, and a key player in the WNBA's top tier. And guess what? She just fired back at all the Fever doubters on Twitter. Then there's Sophie Cunningham, bringing the heat, the confidence, and enough smack talk to shake any arena. So, who did she want to team up with?
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk to me.
Dude. Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
And Sydney Colson, whether she's logging major minutes or not, is about to transform the Fever locker room into the most fun, high-energy space the team has ever seen. The chemistry? Off the charts. Do we sense a trend here? They all chose Indiana. They all decided to play with the core group of Caitlin, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. So while Sheryl Swoopes is busy crafting her next misguided hot take, The Fever are out here building a dynasty. Maybe it's time someone hands Sheryl a pair of glasses because she might be talking about the wrong team. Could she be referring to the Las Vegas Aces, the Chicago Sky, or the Connecticut Sun, all of which seem to be falling apart? The Fever are here, and they're not just showing up, they're taking over.
You know that I'm very excited, and I really agree with a lot of the moves the Indiana Fever have made. There's not been one trade or pickup that the Indiana Fever have made that I have not been on board with. I'm on board with every single one. And I just want to say the fact that the Indiana Fever have gone out and got these great players like a Natasha Howard, like a Dewana Bonner, like a Sophie Cunningham, the fact that they've gone out and got these great players shows that they believe Caitlin Clark is great right now. They are on board with the Caitlin Clark vision, and it just makes me happy, because they're not treating Caitlin Clark like a rookie who is going to be good in 10 years. No, they're treating her like a superstar who is good right now.
Sheryl Swoopes really thought she was dropping some major insights on the Gills Arena podcast. She hopped on the mic like she was about to spill top secret info, but all she ended up revealing was just how much her credibility has taken a hit. At this point, are we even shocked? Sheryl's out here throwing out hot takes like it's her side hustle, and if there were a Hall of Fame for terrible opinions, she'd be a first ballot, unanimous pick.
To all the crazy people on social media calling her every name under the sun because she chose to play in Indiana. These are the same people that are like, oh, she'll never play in Indiana for obvious reasons, and she went and defended the Indiana fans and was like, talking about she was basically like talking positively about the fans that were interacting with her positively, and was responding to one of the crazy posts about her being like, I'm getting screenshots of things you were saying about me, can you just stop?
Dewana Bonner just shattered her 6-month Twitter silence, and she didn't return with a simple I'm back tweet. Instead, she unleashed a bombshell that's got the entire WNBA buzzing. Not only is she joining the Indiana Fever, but she's also turning the tables on a worn-out narrative. You know the one, that Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans are toxic? That storyline is officially over, thanks to one powerful tweet from Bonner.
This WNBA offseason a lot of dumbass narratives, right? It really did. And I hope they're gone for good. And I hope we spend so much less time discussing nonsense. But I think we've seen it stamped out this offseason. And one of those narratives was people wouldn't want to go to the Fever because of the Fever fan base.
Now, you might be asking, isn't that the team everyone seems to love to despise? Well, Bonner isn't buying into that narrative. She just dropped a tweet that's sending shockwaves through the league. And believe me, it's touching on issues that go far beyond just the game of basketball.
It goes to show you that I think hopefully all that stuff has been put in the rear view. And of course, Bonner is a pro.
Imagine this. Bonner, casually scrolling through her phone, likely with a steaming cup of coffee in hand, stumbles upon the usual noise. Critics are bashing her for signing with Indiana. Detractors claim no one would ever choose to play for the Fever, and those so-called experts are clinging to their tired narrative like it's the final slice of pizza at a party. But instead of brushing it off, Bonner had enough. She didn't merely respond, she dismantled that feeble storyline with the precision of one of her signature shot blocks.
Y'all, I don't get on here often because this app is insanely too much sometimes. I just want to say, thank you. Thank you for all the love I've received so far. Deaf, not unnoticed. The love is real.
Her tweet was absolute fire. It wasn't just about defending herself. It was a full-throttle rally for Indiana Fever fans. In essence, Bonner declared, "You're loud, you're passionate, and you're real. That isn't toxic. That's what genuine fandom looks like." And she didn't stop there. She pulled back the curtain on the hypocrisy. How is it that when other fan bases show their passion, it's hailed as support, but when it comes to Indiana, it's painted in a different light? It just doesn't add up.
She's gone online for 2 times. One is to call out the crazy people attacking her right now because she joined the Fever.
And here's why it matters. Bonner isn't some rookie scrambling for attention. She's a champion, a bona fide legend on the court, and an unstoppable force when it comes to scoring. When she speaks, the entire league listens. This isn't merely a player airing grievances online. It's a respected leader calling out the absurdity. Having witnessed it all in the WNBA, she's unafraid to voice what everyone else has been thinking.
You know, Fever fans are probably starving for that. And I think seeing the validation of the players choosing their team.
But here's the twist. Her tweet wasn't solely aimed at the fans. Bonner put the entire league on alert, making it crystal clear that Indiana isn't just a team fighting to stay relevant. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the Fever are crafting something truly extraordinary, and Bonner is all in. She's not merely joining a team, she's stepping into a movement.
And it's funny because if you're seeing like Dawana Bonner, if you're seeing like Natasha Howard, on social media, Natasha Howard's posts are getting 100 times more likes, and Dawana Bonner's being reacted more positively probably than she ever has been in her career.
And get this, the reaction has been nothing short of phenomenal. Fans are rallying behind her, Fever supporters are louder than ever, and even players from rival teams are stepping up to show their support. The whole narrative has been completely overturned.
Be an olive branch to us all to focus on the basketball. But I did think it was worth sharing simply because I know a lot of those fans, the new fans, felt rejected and beaten down a lot. And I think this is symbolic.
Now all those critics who once insisted no one was eager to play for Indiana are scrambling to backtrack, acting as if they never said a word. Meanwhile, Bonner, Caitlin Clark, and the Fever are busy strategizing their next move. And trust me, what's coming is nothing short of legendary.
You know, no argument that the Fever are a great basketball destination. That Caitlin Clark is a great basketball.
Chances are you've caught wind of the so-called Indiana Fever fan controversy. But do you really know the full story? It all began when Alyssa Thomas, Bonner's wife, decided to stir the pot. She boldly claimed that Fever fans were so intimidating, players were shunning the team, as if they were avoiding a barren basketball wasteland.
In my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. You know, we had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And yeah, there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media.
Here's the twist. Despite all the chatter, star players are eagerly lining up to join the Fever. Dawana Bonner, Natasha Howard, these aren't just role players, they're bona fide WNBA icons. When they saw those headlines labeling the fan base as toxic, their response was a resounding, "Count me in." Now, let's talk facts. The numbers speak for themselves. Fever fan engagement is skyrocketing. We're talking sold-out arenas, merchandise flying off the shelves, and social media buzzing like it's draft night every day. This fan base isn't toxic, it's downright electric. And let's not overlook the Caitlin Clark effect. This isn't just a player making ripples. She's a tidal force, turning casual observers into die-hard fans. The very team once dismissed as irrelevant is now the hottest ticket in town. It's like criticizing an entire library because one book had a torn page. It just doesn't add up.
The Fever fan base being painted with this broad brushstroke was always just stupid, really. There's no other word for it, because Caitlin Clark brought more fans to the league than it's ever seen. So many of them are Fever fans, and the new fans that come in outnumber the old fans that were already there. You don't want to tell those people they're unwelcome.
So what's really going on here? Are Fever fans as cruel as a few bitter voices claim? Not even close. Sure, every team has its share of misfits. That's just part of the game. But those few don't define the overall culture. The true spirit of this fan base is all about passion, and it's that very energy that's powering the Fever's ascent.
And a lot of fans, I think, felt unwelcome as a result of that, because when you look at every sport and every fan base, there are going to be bad apples. With every group of people, there are. And the larger that group becomes, of course, then the larger the small percentage of bad apples are. But if you've ever followed sports, you see people acting stupid online or even live at games.
Here's the bottom line. Why are top-tier players flocking to Indiana? It's straightforward. They see the vision. They recognize what's brewing in that front office. Perhaps it's the chance to win, the lucrative endorsements, or simply the understanding that Indiana Fever fans form the backbone of something extraordinary, not a problem. The reality is that this team is redefining the narrative. From dismantling outdated perceptions to building an electrifying culture fueled by passionate supporters, the Fever are on the rise. In the end, it's not just about basketball. It's about creating a legacy and proving that when you have vision and true fan support, you can turn any doubter into a believer.
So when Lisa Leslie is on Angel Reese's podcast and gets asked anything you would want me to work on going into year 2, Lisa Leslie has a laundry list she's already written out. Your layups suck. Your layups suck. You can't finish. You can't finish. You can't. Lisa Leslie had a huge list.
Ever wondered what happens when a basketball superstar's ego starts to outpace her talent? Angel Reese's new podcast, Unapologetically Angel, is offering us a front row seat to just that. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride.
I don't know what the scouts were looking at. I really don't. But following the 7, God has a plan, and it is what it is. And you ended up in Chicago, but I'm just telling you,
going into season,
you were ready.
Thank you. Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
From WNBA legends ripping her layups to painfully low viewership numbers, Reese's efforts to stay in the spotlight are backfiring in the cringiest way imaginable. You won't believe the stinging words her own mentor, Lisa Leslie, had to say about her game. Stick with us as we unpack this train wreck that's got the entire basketball world talking. Ready for the ride? Let's go. Here's the kicker. Angel Reese just can't seem to escape Caitlin Clark's shadow, even on her own turf. Reese kicked off Unapologetically Angel to show fans a side of her beyond the court, but it's quickly spiraled into a series of awkward missteps. No matter who she's chatting with or what they start talking about, the conversation always circles back to one name, Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Clout Chasing Caitlin Clark podcast. I think that's what it's called. Unapologetic Clout Chasing of Caitlin Clark podcast, hosted by Angel Reese.
It's like Caitlin Clark has become this uninvited guest star Reese just can't shake. Is it the guests who keep mentioning her? Or is Reese unknowingly steering the conversation straight to Clark Island? You've got to wonder what's really going on in Reese's mind. Is it fierce rivalry, hidden admiration, or is Clark simply that dominant in women's basketball at the moment?
So when you say Sheryl Swoopes, Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh my goodness, Sheryl doesn't like her, so let's see what this is about. And like, all of that's stupid to me. It's not true, it's all stupid. And also, now they may be mad when I say this, because it's funny to me. Like, when I look at the number 22s in the league, like I was 22, Asia's 22, Caitlin's 22. Like, those are some hell of a good number 22s. And we're all a part of the Nike family.
Let's break this down. Episode after episode, the same pattern keeps popping up. 1 minute, Reese is talking about her go-to pregame routine, and the next, bam, someone's raving about Clark's latest record-breaking feat. It's almost laughable how predictable it's become. Fans on social media are having a blast with it, joking that the podcast should be rebranded as The Caitlin Clark Show, hosted by Angel Reese.
Because of women's basketball, whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform, so how do you feel about that situation?
I think just being able to be in that moment of it happening, you never realize how something can literally change your life. And knowing my 5 fingers and my other finger pointing at my hand could literally have changed my life for like forever is crazy.
But here's where it gets interesting. All this Clark-centric chatter might actually be helping Reese out more than we think. Every time Clark's name pops up, it's bringing more eyes to Reese's podcast. Even basketball analysts are catching on, noting how Reese's efforts to focus on her own story often get buried under the weight of Clark's accomplishments.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before.
You've got to wonder what this is doing to Reese's image and the vision she had for her podcast. Did she set out to create a space where she'd be constantly compared to Clark? Or is this just an unexpected turn in the Angel Reese saga? There's a thin line between staying relevant and becoming obsessed, and right now, it's tough to say which side Reese is on. Want to know what Reese's so-called mentor had to say about her?
Lisa Leslie appears on Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel. She gives Angels some advice. Just a hint, it has to do with her layups.
You thought the Caitlin Clark comparisons were rough? Well, Angel Reese's latest podcast episode just took a sharp detour into Awkward City when WNBA legend Lisa Leslie showed up in the Unapologetically Angel studio. Fans were probably expecting some easygoing chat and maybe a few pearls of wisdom. Instead, they got a front row seat to what can only be called a public roasting. Leslie, apparently not one for softening the blow, decided to keep it 100, and I mean really 100.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
Let's break this down, shall we? Leslie, a two-time WNBA champ and one of the most dominant players in women's basketball history, didn't waste a second getting straight to the point. She looked Reese dead in the eye and dropped this truth bomb. The biggest advice I have for you is how you shoot your layups, period. Ouch. Can you imagine trying to host your own show while your basketball idol basically tells you your fundamentals are in serious need of some TLC? But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on how you see it.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
Leslie didn't just stop at calling out Reese's layup form. She went full statistician on us, dropping the cold, hard numbers. She pointed out that Reese shot a rough 39.1% from the field during her rookie season. Now, for those of you who aren't basketball buffs, that's not exactly impressive, especially when you consider that Reese was shooting under 50% on shots less than 5 feet from the basket. Ouch.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
Now, picture this. Reese, probably sweating bullets, doing her best to keep it together as Leslie just keeps dropping these brutal truths. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You can't look away. The tension in that studio had to be so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Keep in mind, this is the same Angel Reese who spent all season battling stat padding allegations, to the point where her coach got fired. Heck, even Kennedy Carter threw some shade on her way out of Chicago.
Kennedy Carter Instagram account right here, guys. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, she been going on a little rant all night long. Now, this is the tweet right here that kind of sparked everything. She stated, I think the ability to consistently make layups just put anyone in a different tier so important to score easy. Now, a lot of people is insinuating that this tweet is towards Angel Reese.
Here's the thing about pro athletes. They love spilling the tea on social media, and when it comes to the Chicago Sky, Kennedy Carter just cranked the heat up to full blast. You know those cryptic tweets that leave you thinking, wait, what's really going on here? Well, Carter dropped a real gem that had everyone connecting the dots faster than you can say layup. She tweeted about the importance of making layups. Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. See, Angel Reese had been struggling with her layups all season long. We're talking a dismal 42.4% success rate, the worst in the WNBA. That's not just bad. That's maybe you should try underhand bad. Out of 321 attempts, Reese only made 136. Ouch.
Just like I've been telling y'all, bro. She has been making it her business to sneak this Angel Reese every chance she get. Now, since she's been cut, it look even more obvious. Somebody said, LOL, you ate down. Now, this tweet right here just popped up here. Somebody tried to come into the defense of her because we know she's a free agent. So, like, if you throw teammates, ex-teammates under the bus, that's going to hurt you even more.
But hold up, there's more. When a fan posted a graphic showing Reese's layup percentages, Carter couldn't resist chiming in. Translation for anyone who doesn't speak Twitter, you nailed it. Let's be real. Subtle as a sledgehammer, right? This public critique isn't just about Reese's layups or shooting percentages. It's about bigger issues with her playing style and approach to the game. When someone with Leslie's pedigree takes the time to break down your weaknesses so thoroughly, it's clear these problems aren't just rookie jitters or small flaws. They're red flags.
Has nobody mentioned this to Angel Reese through 17 to 23 years old? So every time she would meet a legend or meet somebody in the WNBA, meet a player, instead of saying, hey, Angel, let me talk to you real quick. Instead of looking out for her, you guys just do this again, because it's okay. It's okay.
You've got to wonder what this does to Reese's relationship with Lisa Leslie. Is this the beginning of the end for their mentorship? Or could it actually be the wake-up call Reese needs to level up her game? The dynamic between them just shifted in a big way. After all, when someone like Lisa Leslie, arguably one of the greatest to ever play the game, tells you to fix something, you'd better sit up and listen. That kind of feedback doesn't come lightly. It's tough love, sure, but it's also a gift. Reese is at a crossroads right now. Will she take this as a sign to buckle down, address her weaknesses, and get serious about her future? Or will she push back and ignore the advice from a legend who's been through it all? This isn't just about basketball. It's about how Reese handles criticism, how she handles growth, and how she chooses to show up for herself in the face of challenges. That relationship with Leslie is pivotal. It could either be a turning point or the beginning of a rift. The next few moves Reese makes will reveal a lot about her character and whether she's ready to embrace the tough lessons that come with being a true star in the making.
You can't be selfish, because I seen you at the All-Star game before and you wanted to score and not pass the ball.
This guy said, did she really say you can't be selfish when she takes 30 shots and misses 27 of them instead of passing to her teammate?
Angel Reese just delivered the ultimate egg-on-your-face moment at the Super Bowl, and it's comedy gold. She called out another player for being a ball hog. Yes, that Angel Reese, the reigning queen of missed layups and ill-advised shots, pointing the finger at someone else for not sharing the rock. The irony is so thick, it's almost as heavy as her shot selection.
The NFL put this out last night. LSU legends Angel Reese, Jaden Daniels. Do not clump in Jaden with that bum. Angel only a legend in her own mind. A lot of people roasted the legend part. Legend and Angel Reese should never be in the same sentence. Reese wishes she was a legend like Caitlin Clark. Laugh out loud.
We've seen this story play out 1,000 times. Clanking layups, racking up rebounds off her own missed shots. and acting like double-doubles are impressive when half the points come from cleaning up her own mess. Meanwhile, her team mysteriously starts clicking when she's on the bench. But there she is, chasing the spotlight like it's a debt collector instead of, actually improving her game.
Angel showed up with her business out. You can see the business is just everywhere. Chesticles bouncing all over the place. She's not any good at basketball, so she has to show some skin to stay relevant.
While her teammates are putting in work at the gym, Angel Reese is front and center at the Super Bowl, trying to grab the spotlight like she's angling for a reality TV spot. But here's the kicker. It blew up in her face. Even her own fans couldn't back her this time, calling her out for chasing clout instead of focusing on basketball.
Unrivaled had games yesterday. This is their season. They got games tomorrow. Angel Reese, of course, as you can expect, would be in the basketball court, deep in the lab, really putting in work. Except she wasn't.
While Reese was busy playing fashion icon at the Super Bowl, Caitlin Clark was doing what she does best, putting in work. Clark doesn't need flashy outfits or viral moments to stay relevant. Her game speaks for itself. As Reese made headlines for all the wrong reasons, Clark was quietly dominating, inspiring the next generation, and proving once again she's operating on a whole different level. In fact, Clark skipped the Super Bowl altogether to focus on a workout and welcome her new teammate, DeWanna Bonner, to Indiana.
Now, we know Caitlin Clark is down in New Orleans as well, taking care of business, bruh. She's doing her Gatorade thing. She got a Nike commercial about to drop. She's doing drills. She's not on the red carpet half naked. I'm telling you, bruh, Caitlin Clark definitely looked like she's taking care of everything she needed to get done to go back to Indiana and finish getting ready for the 2025 season.
Let's talk about impact, because the numbers don't lie. Reese strutted around the Super Bowl like she was the main event. But Clark's jersey retirement, just the jersey retirement, pulled in 1.1 million viewers, and she wasn't even playing. That's right, Clark didn't even need to touch a basketball to outdraw Reese's actual games, which can barely scrape together 100,000 viewers on a good day.
Caitlin Clark being in the building, 1.1 million average viewers.
Angel Reese failed to break 100,000 viewers. Now tell me again how everybody's tuning in for you.
It couldn't be more obvious. Caitlin Clark is about greatness. Angel Reese is about attention. Reese's Super Bowl stunt was the perfect example of why she'll never be on Clark's level. She had the nerve to criticize another player for not passing the ball when she's literally the biggest ball hog in women's basketball. It's like LeBron James calling someone out for flopping. Honestly, make it make sense.
I see you miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound. Box me out.
Yeah.
You're like 6'4". Is there a reason you cannot hit a damn layup?
Don't be mad because your fave didn't box her out. That's what I say.
Reese has built a whole career on forcing bad shots, ignoring open teammates, and missing layups like it's her side hustle. Yet somehow, she's got the nerve to throw shade. The delusion is gold medal worthy. Let's talk about what's really going down in the league that stands head and shoulders above the rest. The league where Reese was supposed to prove that people actually watch for her, too.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest, we can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero zip, nothing. Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Angel Reese is failing spectacularly. Her games are a train wreck, like a blooper reel stuck on loop. Missed layups, forced shots, and stats that don't add up. She'll chuck up 5 shots to make one, and her fans act like she's out here putting up triple doubles. But let's be real, she's just cleaning up her own mess. The truth is, A lot of people are just tuning in to watch her blooper reel.
Is there anybody else in the WNBA or NBA that does this more than Reese? From tonight's game, third quarter, in 16 seconds, Reese took 4 shots, missed the first 3 shots, got an offensive rebound off her own 3 misses, and then finally made the 4th. But, quote, double-double, this looks just like Chicago Sky shit from last year.
And here's the brutal truth. Her team plays better without her. That's not up for debate. It's a fact. The second she's on the bench, the offense flows, the defense locks in, and suddenly it's like watching actual basketball. If she was really the star she thinks she is, her absence would hurt the team, not make them better.
Angel Reese fans are celebrating another double-double. And I do understand a double-double from her and a win, missing your shots.
Now let's flip the script to Caitlin Clark. She doesn't need to force shots or pad her stats. She just dominates, effortlessly. And here's the crazy part. Clark didn't even have to step on the court to outshine Reese. While Reese was out there chasing headlines with her Super Bowl antics, Clark didn't even show up, and her Nike commercial racked up millions of views. She's breaking records without even lifting a finger. Meanwhile, Reese is struggling to get people to care about her actual games. Clark's mere presence is enough to break viewership records, while Reese is out here relying on controversy just to get noticed.
That's crazy. Just by her going to the game, it's the second most watched NCAA game. Like, that's crazy. That just shows how popular she is right now.
The one thing I would say about Caitlin Clark fans, they'll go anywhere she goes.
And let's not ignore the obvious. One player is focused on basketball, the other is focused on fame. Clark is in the gym, locked in, while Reese is busy chasing photo ops, complaining about WNBA salaries, and pretending to be a victim whenever things don't go her way.
Whatever she thinks she is or she's moving the needle, no. People are reaching for their remote when her games come on and clicking to something else. They're tuning out.
Reese's Super Bowl stunt revealed everything that's off with her approach. She talks a big game, but when it's time to deliver, it's just missed layups and excuses. While she was busy stealing the spotlight, Clark was doing what she does best, perfecting her craft, inspiring millions, and showing exactly why she's the face of women's basketball.
Crazy about this. The numbers were much better than NBA legend Kobe Bryant's jersey retirement ceremony on December 18, 2017 on Iowa versus USC February 3rd was also the second most watched game in NCAA history, just by her going to the game.
While the unrivaled league is fighting for relevance, what does Reese do? Skip practice, start a podcast, whine about her paycheck, and chase every celebrity event in sight. Her priorities couldn't be clearer, and none of them involve actually getting better at basketball.
This is why Angel Reese's game is never going to get better, y'all. Her mom telling her this, and her fans are the same exact way. Zero accountability, bro. Imagine this, y'all. You playing basketball in front of the whole world. People have been constantly criticizing your game, and you messing up on the court. There's all this film and everything about what you need to do better and what you're messing up on. And your mom is just sitting here telling you, well, forget them. Just forget them, bro. Like, that's terrible advice.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is the definition of locked in. She's not skipping practice or chasing clout. Even at the Super Bowl, she was doing drills, staying focused, and representing the game with class. That's the difference. One is building a legacy, the other is building a highlight reel for Instagram.
Like we see why Angel Reese is the way that she is. Man, look at how her mom is just talking to her, telling her just forget them, bro. But then y'all are so mad that the world doesn't like her and talk so much shit about her, bro.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, everybody misses layups. I'm so tired of this everybody misses layups thing. Yes, a whole bunch of basketball players miss layups, but people are not missing layups like Angel Reese.
And here's the plot twist. Even Reese's own fans are starting to wake up. They're realizing the truth. She's all talk. She complains about being underpaid, but isn't putting in the work to show she's worth more. Meanwhile, Clark is setting the standard for young athletes, staying focused on growth and actually improving her game.
Do you have any regrets on how it happened and everything that's happened since then?
I don't have any regrets with anything. I'm going to compete and play 100% hard no matter who it is, like I said, or who we're playing. No, I don't have any regrets.
It's official. Kennedy Carter's career is over after one reckless move. She thought she could get away with shoving Caitlin Clark, but the WNBA had other plans. Now, she's fired, her reputation is ruined, and teams won't touch her. So how did one moment destroy her future while Caitlin Clark thrives? Stick around. What happened next will blow your mind. The crowd gathered for a game between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever, excited to see stars like Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. But then, Kennedy Carter shoved Caitlin Clark, leaving the arena in shock. The officials called it a common foul, but it was far from that. In the post-game interview, Carter didn't apologize or take responsibility. Instead, she brushed off the questions with an attitude that made teams rethink their interest in her. Talent matters in the WNBA, but so does attitude. Kennedy Carter's bad attitude toward Caitlin Clark was a huge mistake, and it wasn't the first time. Already on her third team, rumors of locker room drama followed her. The Chicago Sky didn't try to work it out. They showed her the door. No trade, no deal. The GM made it clear. She had an incredible season, but her fit no longer aligns with our vision. And that was just the start. Kennedy Carter's WNBA colleagues made it clear they disliked her. Angel Reese unfollowed her on social media, and other players didn't want her on the roster. Her attitude, not just talent, made her a liability. Now, an unrestricted free agent, she's avoided by teams, labeled a locker room cancer. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is dominating the league, and the drama has only boosted her popularity. She's not just a talented rookie, she's changing the game. Caitlin Clark's rise to fame started in college, where she shattered the NCAA Division career scoring record and won National Player of the Year twice. Known for her deep threes, clutch shots, and no-look assists, she made Iowa must-watch TV. In the WNBA, she kept the momentum going, becoming the biggest name in the league. Every game she played was a sellout, and she delivered on the hype with exceptional performances. Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been nothing short of extraordinary. She's the first rookie in WNBA history to hit over 100 three-pointers and record 300 assists in a season, with shooting efficiency that's off the charts. Already setting the WNBA single-season assist record, she ended her team's playoff drought while playing with the fearless energy that made her a college legend. Corporates and the sports world have taken notice. Clark's impact goes far beyond the stats. Caitlin Clark's impact goes beyond the court, reshaping the WNBA's economic landscape. Ticket sales, TV ratings, and merchandise are booming, with games featuring Clark averaging 15,000 fans. Her debut game drew 2.5 million viewers, surpassing many NBA games, and WNBA ticket sales spiked 93% in 2024. Clark isn't just a player, she's a movement, taking women's basketball to new heights. Caitlin Clark has accelerated the WNBA's growth by years, helping the league hit milestones expected in 2030. With record-breaking performances, multi-million-dollar endorsements, and influence on key decisions like media rights and player salaries, she's proving one player can change the game. Her success is elevating the entire league and paving the way for future generations. Caitlin Clark's story wouldn't be complete without her rivalries. First, there's A'ja Wilson, the reigning MVP, facing off with Clark as the future star. Their matchups represent a generational shift, and Caitlin is ready to take over. Then there's Angel Reese, a strong talent who has competed with Clark since college, but Caitlin outperformed her in nearly every stat, with more fanfare surrounding her games. With success comes criticism. and Caitlin Clark faced plenty. Many doubted she could handle the WNBA's physicality and questioned if her college success was due to teammates. But she silenced those critics, dominating the league and torching defenders. Her ability to perform under pressure proves she's not just a good player, but a great one. With Kennedy Carter out, all eyes are on Caitlin Clark. Big corporations are flocking to her thanks to the Caitlin Clark effect, and her success is lifting the entire league. Clark's rise isn't just personal, it's about paving the way for the next generation with bigger sponsorships, better media coverage, and greater respect for women's sports. She's proving women's sports can be as exciting, profitable, and impactful as men's, breaking barriers and forcing the world to pay attention. Caitlin isn't just here to play, she's here to change the game. Kennedy Carter faces an uphill battle ahead. With the WNBA growing, teams want leaders, not troublemakers. So, what's next for her? Can she make a comeback, or is this the end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.
At the end of the day, the way Indiana came at me with everything they promised me and they keeping their promise, they sold me. And I took the bait for it, and I'm happy to be back where I started and also being back with Coach, and Kelly, and also Amber as well, bringing her along. It's just a blessing to be back where I started, and also for my family and friends to also see me back where I started at as well. It's just amazing and a grateful feeling to be back in a Indiana Fever jersey.
What happens when a three-time WNBA champion teams up with one of the most hyped players in recent memory? Natasha Howard's move to the Indiana Fever isn't just a trade, it's a seismic shift. But here's the burning question. How will Howard, a battle-tested veteran, sync up with Caitlin Clark? The chemistry between them could either elevate the Fever to new heights or leave them stuck in neutral. In this video, we're diving deep into how Howard's arrival could turn this team into WNBA champions and what she really thinks about playing alongside Clark in Indiana. Plus, stick around for an exclusive bombshell about Howard that no one saw coming. Ready? Let's dive in.
When I was on that stage press conference, I kind of got emotional a little bit. Like, wow, I'm back here again where I started. And just how Stephanie White was speaking so highly of me. Like, I'm like, this is where I need to be at, and this is where I belong. And I'm just so happy to be able to come back and handle some unfinished business.
Imagine this. A three-time WNBA champion steps into the Indiana Fever's locker room. But this isn't just any player. It's Natasha Howard, back where it all started for her. This homecoming has everyone buzzing, and trust us, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye.
The list of accomplishments are long. People say you should have a one-page resume. Natasha cannot have that. It is several pages. Three-time champion, two-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player. I mean, again, the list goes on and on and on.
Let's hit rewind for a second. Howard's journey began right here in Indiana, when the Fever picked her with the 5th overall selection in the 2014 WNBA draft. Fast forward to today, and she's no longer just another player. She's a battle-tested veteran with multiple championships to her name. So why, after all she's achieved, would someone of her caliber choose to return to a young, rising team like the Fever? She could have landed anywhere. What's truly behind Howard's decision to come back?
This is a tremendous, not only a tremendous player, but a tremendous person. And what she's done the last 9 years in her career has put her in the elite company of many athletes and many players in this league. So, I want to say thank you to Natasha and to her family for coming back to us. Because when a player returns to a place that drafted them, that's special. And she chose us because she could have gone anywhere.
The answer? It might surprise you. When Howard walked into the Fever's facility, she was hit hard by seeing her original 2014 Fever jersey. "It's a blessing to be back," she said, and with Stephanie White speaking so highly of her, it was clear. Howard felt right where she belonged. This isn't just about basketball for her, it's about returning home. But there's more. Howard's mentioned unfinished business from her first stint with the Fever, specifically the 2015 finals, where they came close but fell short. That loss has stayed with her, and now she's back to make it right. Now, you might be wondering just how good Natasha Howard really is. Last season, she averaged 18 points and 7 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's elite, putting her in the same league as some of the best in the game.
Last season, with a minimum of 25 games played, Natasha Howard was one of just 13 players to average 18 points per game. She was one of 16 players to average 7 rebounds per game. And the list of players to average both 18 and 7 last year, short and elite. A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Brittany Griner, and yes, Natasha Howard.
Here's where things get really exciting. The Fever aren't just adding a star, they're adding a game changer. Howard's versatility is through the roof. She can stretch the floor, create opportunities for her teammates, and give opposing defenses nightmares. For a young core like the Fevers, with players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, this is massive.
But all of that, and we haven't yet touched upon what Howard does best: defend. Howard was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 and has finished in the top 10 of the Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 times in her career. Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game in each of her last 7 seasons. And that versatility is really what makes her a weapon on defense.
So, can one player really turn things around for a team? In this case, it just might. The Fever have been rebuilding for a while and have plenty of young talent. But what they've lacked is a veteran who knows how to win when it matters. That's where Howard steps in. What does Howard see in this young Fever team? It's not just about talent, it's about untapped potential. She's here to build something special. In her own words, "I want to show this young group what it takes to win a championship. You can't take any days off in practice. It's the way you play." This isn't just about adding another star. It's about reshaping the team's entire culture.
We have the talent. Well, first of all, we have the people to actually do it. So my thing is, like, I'm happy, like I said, to be a part of this and also bring the leadership and the desire to, to show the young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3, so my thing is, like, to show them you can't take no days off in practice. You gotta think, like, you practice, it's the way how you play. So my thing is, like, coming in, I'm just gonna show them, like, this is how you work hard. So when you work hard, it's gonna be easy in the game. It won't be as hard. So my thing is just bringing that championship mentality to the locker room and to this team and just guiding this team.
The Fever's management is absolutely thrilled about Howard's return, and it's easy to understand why. They're not just adding a top-tier player, they're gaining a leader, a mentor, someone who can guide their young stars on the path to success in the league. Howard's character and leadership are exactly what this team needs to level up and make that next big leap.
Whether she was on the floor or not, she was mentoring young players. She was giving direction, advice, and was always selfless in everything that she did. And I tell you what, guys, I fell in love with her. I was so excited about the opportunity to bring her here. Natasha, thank you so much for your faith and your trust in us. I think this is going to be an awesome experience, and welcome home.
Let's talk about the superstar sensation that's got the entire league buzzing. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA. It's created a whirlwind of excitement. But does all that hype really hold up? If you ask Natasha Howard, the answer is a definite yes.
Just really excited to also play with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, like the player that, that I also say stuff on the court to them when I'm, like, playing against them. So, but I'm happy that I'm playing with them, not against them no more.
Picture this: a 3-time WNBA champion hitting the court next to a point guard who just rewrote WNBA history in her freshman season. You'd think there might be some tension, right? After all, Howard's made it clear she wants to shine in her return to Indiana. But here's the twist. Howard isn't just excited about playing with Clark. She's genuinely thrilled. Get ready, WNBA fans, because the season just delivered one of its most electrifying finales yet. As the curtains close on this year's action-packed games, Phoenix Mercury's standout Sophie Cunningham, teammate of the legendary Diana Taurasi, has sparked intense conversations with her bold comments about Caitlin Clark that have everyone buzzing. But that's only scratching the surface. Caitlin Clark didn't just shine this season. She redefined what's possible on the court. From shattered records and jaw-dropping plays to leading the Indiana Fever through an unexpected transformation, her impact was undeniable. And here's the twist. Some of the league's seasoned veterans are feeling the heat. Yes, you heard right. This rising star made such waves that it stirred the egos of established stars. Stay tuned as we break down all the highlights and dive into Cunningham's remarks that have everyone talking. In a recent interview, Sophie shared this eye-opening insight about Caitlin Clark.
But I think they've done a great job in the league as well. I think the physicality and all that they're going to get used to, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it. And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing.
Can you believe what's unfolding in the WNBA? A seasoned teammate of the legendary Diana Taurasi is openly lauding a rookie, and that's a rare sight in the league. Sophie Cunningham isn't stopping there. She went on to say, when it comes to viewership, man, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about our league. But I think that's a really fun thing. If you have anything negative to say about the viewership and everything this rookie class is doing, I just think you're not capitalizing on it and you might be a little jealous. Sophie just unleashed a bombshell against anyone criticizing Caitlin Clark's success and her fellow rookies. Essentially, she's arguing that if you're not thrilled about the league's growth, the issue lies with you. But why is Sophie, an established player, so passionately defending Caitlin Clark and the new rookies? The answer is straightforward: impact. Clark isn't just excelling on the court, she's reshaping the perception of the WNBA. Since her debut, viewership has surged. Stadiums that once had empty seats are now buzzing with fans. People aren't just tuning in to Indiana Fever games. They're buying tickets, jerseys, and buzzing about the WNBA on social media like never before. And here's the kicker. Clark is achieving all this as a rookie. She didn't need years to adapt or build a fan base. She arrived and is already a force to be reckoned with. That's why Sophie and other insightful players recognize that Clark's success translates to the WNBA's success as a whole. But Clark's influence goes beyond scoring. She's redefining the point guard role in the WNBA. Her assists are masterpieces. She spots angles that others miss and delivers passes that leave commentators in awe. The craziest part? She's doing all this while facing defenses specifically designed to stop her. Entire teams have had to rethink their strategies just to contain Caitlin Clark, yet she continues to dominate. This is why veterans like Sophie Cunningham are so impressed. Clark isn't just playing well, she's changing the game, forcing teams and players to adapt and elevate the entire league. Now, let's dive into what Cunningham mentioned that's stirring up the league, the jealousy and criticism targeting Caitlin Clark. It sounds unbelievable, right? A rookie shaking up the league to the point of making veterans envious? But that's the reality. Some players and fans are complaining about the spotlight Clark is stealing, claiming it overshadows more experienced players. But let's be honest, this is pure jealousy. As Sophie Cunningham aptly pointed out, those who gripe about Clark's visibility aren't capitalizing on it and might just be a little envious. And she's spot on. Clark's success doesn't take away from any other player's value. In fact, increased attention benefits everyone in the WNBA. More fans mean more revenue, which can lead to higher salaries, better playing conditions, and more opportunities for all players. Clark is expanding the league's market, attracting new fans who might never have watched a WNBA game before. Once hooked, these fans aren't just following Clark, they're discovering all the incredible talent the league has to offer. That's why savvy players like Cunningham are embracing the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. They understand that a rising tide lifts all boats. Clark's triumphs are the WNBA's triumphs. And let's face it, Clark deserves all the hype. She's not just racking up numbers, she's redefining what's possible in women's basketball. Her passes, court vision, and scoring ability are at a level rarely seen from a rookie. So to those feeling jealous or critical, here's some advice. Instead of complaining, ride the wave. Use this surge in attention to showcase your own talents. Because what Caitlin Clark is doing is opening doors for all WNBA players. Moreover, Clark's impact on the WNBA's popularity is likely to keep rising. We're already witnessing a significant boost in viewership and fan engagement. If this trend continues, we could be on the verge of a new golden era for professional women's basketball, leading to more investments in the league, better contracts for players, increased media coverage, and possibly even expansion to new cities. The possibilities are endless. Additionally, Clark is inspiring the next generation. How many young athletes are watching her now, dreaming of becoming the next Caitlin Clark? She's fueling a new wave of talent that will only strengthen the WNBA further. Finally, let's consider Clark's legacy. If she maintains this trajectory, we're not just talking about a great player. We could be witnessing the rise of one of the greatest of all time. She has the potential to be to the WNBA what legends like Michael Jordan and LeBron James are to the NBA. However, it's not all smooth sailing. As Clark continues to dominate and draw attention, the pressure mounts. Expectations are sky high. She set a tremendous standard in her rookie season, and everyone expects her to surpass it every game. What happens if she has a bad night or goes through a scoring slump? Critics will be quick to pounce. Then there's the physical toll. The WNBA season is long and demanding, especially for a rookie. Clark is logging more minutes, facing tougher defenses, and traveling extensively. Can she maintain this level of performance through the season and into the playoffs? And let's not overlook the mental strain. With every move scrutinized and every word analyzed, the pressure is immense. Will she be able to stay focused and continue performing at an elite level? So, what do you think? Will Caitlin Clark keep dominating and break all the records we've discussed? Or will other teams find a way to challenge her? And what are your thoughts on Sophie Cunningham's comments? Do you agree that the criticism Clark is facing stems from jealousy? Or do you believe there are legitimate concerns?